You think Thanos was the most powerful? Think again. There's someone who literally became the multiverse. From gods who can reshape galaxies to beings who erase timelines with a whisper. This list will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the MCU. Stick around till the end, because the last character on this list changes everything. We're kicking things off with Adam Warlock, a character powerful enough to single-handedly dismantle the Guardians of the Galaxy. But make no mistake, he's just our starting benchmark. Despite his strength, Adam was awakened too early from his cocoon, so he hasn't yet reached his full potential. That limits how high he can climb on this list. Next up is Akaris, the de facto leader and strongest of the Eternals. Think of him as Marvel's answer to Superman laser vision, flight, durability, and cosmic might. He's a walking extinction-level event. Yet, guilt overtook him, and he hurled himself into the sun. One good performance, no matter how flashy, will only get you so far here. Jaya, one of the first Super Skrulls, deserves a spotlight. Her shape-shifting abilities allow her to replicate the powers of major MCU characters like Thor, Hulk, Captain Marvel, and even Thanos. That means she has immense power wrapped in one form: strength, agility, cosmic blasts, and combat precision. Still, one scene doesn't quite prove she's superior to those she mimics. When we talk about the Hulk, we're speaking of raw brute force. He came in strong with the Incredible Hulk and dominated in Avengers and Ragnarok. But after his defeat by Thanos and transformation into Professor Hulk, his physical dominance took a back seat. Still, moments like punching Surtur and wielding the Infinity Gauntlet remind us of his strength. Kahori, an average young woman before being submerged in a Tesseract-infused lake, became something else entirely. She absorbed the Space Stone's energy and now manipulates objects telekinetically, teleports across the multiverse, and moves at blinding speed. Her powers are limited only by imagination, and she's barely scratched the surface. Now let's talk about Zeus, ruler of Omnipotent City and the Greek gods. Sounds powerful on paper, but when Thor one-shot him, it casts serious doubt. Once mighty, perhaps, but now more of a shadow of his old self. Ammit, the soul-devouring Egyptian deity, emerged with fury when freed by Khonshu. She didn't just return, she absorbed hordes of souls and battled Khonshu himself. Her concept of preemptive punishment made her dangerous, and her power surge upon release proved it. Doctor Strange, once the holder of the Time Stone, remains Earth's top magical defender. He's faced cosmic threats, fought Thanos with 4 stones, and held off Wanda for a time. But his win-loss record isn't perfect. Many of his victories, like his time loop bargain with Dormammu, relied on artifacts he no longer possesses. Thor, the thunder-wielding god, reigned supreme among Avengers for years. While newer faces have arrived, his feats remain jaw-dropping. He's gone toe-to-toe with celestial threats, and even channeled the Bifrost with Stormbreaker. On screen, he's one of the few characters to demonstrate true planet-level strength. Hela, goddess of death and Thor's sister, made an unforgettable return. On Asgard, her power was amplified beyond measure. She destroyed Mjolnir like glass and slaughtered armies with ease. Her connection to Asgard made her virtually unbeatable until Surtur fulfilled Ragnarok's prophecy. Kong the Conqueror might have been taken down by ants, yes really, but his reputation precedes him. He's annihilated Avengers across timelines and collapsed entire realities. If the stories are true, this version was nerfed, and his placement here reflects a compromise between his potential and his performance. Khonshu, the Egyptian moon god, rarely fights directly but displays staggering feats, such as shifting celestial bodies. Illusion or not, moving moons with your mind places you in rare company. If real, he's one of the most absurdly powerful beings in the MCU. Gore the God Butcher is no ordinary alien. Betrayed by faith and armed with the Necrosword, he systematically hunted gods. Thor considered rallying a godly army just to stand a chance, and that alone speaks volumes. Gore is terror incarnate to divine beings. Captain Marvel sits in a league of her own. Faster than light? Yes. Starry-igniting energy blasts check. She tanked attacks from a gauntlet-wielding Thanos and still came out swinging. Her power-ups in recent films have elevated her from elite to possibly unstoppable. Then there's Wanda Maximoff, or rather, the Scarlet Witch. She became a magical apex predator, more powerful than even the Sorcerer Supreme. She dismantled the Illuminati, including a variant of Captain Marvel, without breaking a sweat. She is chaos magic incarnate and a legitimate multiversal threat. Surtur, foretold as Asgard's destroyer, didn't disappoint. Wielding the eternal flame, he fulfilled his prophecy and reduced the realm to rubble. Neither Odin nor Thor could stop him once his destiny ignited. He was doom personified. Odin, the former king of Asgard and father to gods, was a force like no other. He defeated Surtur once, banished Hela, and ruled the 9 realms with unmatched might. He could forge stars and shatter armies. But age eventually dulled his power, though not his legacy. Next is Ego, the sentient planet and celestial, dreamed of cosmic dominance. His plan was to consume the universe itself by expanding his essence across countless worlds. And he nearly succeeded. If not for Peter Quill's rebellion, he might have become the galaxy itself. Let's talk about Alioth, a creature born from the fractures of space and time itself. A being so incomprehensibly vast that it doesn't just consume matter and energy, it erases reality itself. Space, time, even existence, all swallowed whole. It was Alioth who effectively ended the multiversal war, tearing through divergent timelines and reducing them to void. He doesn't just unalive, he obliterates. There's no trace left behind. Then there's Dormammu, the ageless lord of the dark dimension, a realm cobbled together from countless conquered realities. He has complete control over this domain, bending its physics and space-time to his will. Dormammu's ambition is apocalyptic. He seeks to absorb the entire multiverse into his eternal darkness. But for all his might, there's one catch. If you can control time, you can control him. As we've seen, that's a critical vulnerability, especially with others on this list who manipulate time with ease. Next up, the name that once sent shivers down the spine of the MCU is Thanos. Armed with the Infinity Gauntlet, he wasn't just powerful, he was inevitable. With one snap, he halved all life in the universe. While others have wielded the stones since, no one's cultural and narrative impact matches his. Thanos was the first to bend the rules of reality in the MCU's cinematic lore, and even in defeat, his legacy looms large. Captain Carter, in her ultimate form, steps onto the scene next. Not just the super soldier variant of Peggy Carter, this version of her battled against Doctor Strange, donned Ultron's armor, wielded all 6 Infinity Stones, wore Hela's crown, and carried a gamma-forged sword. It was a cosmic-level upgrade. Despite the power at her disposal, though, her fighting style remained grounded. Energy blasts, close combat. She had the tools of a god, but not quite the finesse to maximize them. Now enter Doctor Strange Supreme, a man who shattered the laws of nature in a desperate quest to save Christine Palmer. Consumed by power, he absorbed countless magical entities and eventually destroyed his own universe. His unmatched magical prowess made him the prime warrior in the battle against Infinity Ultron. Even with Carter and Kahori's combined might and their own powerful artifacts, Strange still outclassed them. He wasn't just powerful, he was transcendent. Erishem the Judge, the primordial celestial, created the stars, the planets, and life itself. He is the architect of existence, predating the universe and shaping it with divine intent. As the leader of all celestials, Erishem doesn't merely influence galaxies, he builds them. He's a cosmic god whose judgments determine the fate of civilizations. Then we have the Watcher, a being who exists beyond the physical dimensions. He observes all realities from the convergence point of every universe, bearing the power of a cosmic deity. Though he swore never to interfere, when push came to shove, he entered the fray. And when the Watcher moves, even gods pause. He's omniscient, nearly omnipotent, and absolutely not to be underestimated. He who remains, also known as Nathaniel Richards, was a 31st century genius who unlocked the secrets of the multiverse and met countless versions of himself, many of whom turned tyrannical. In response, he unleashed Alioth to end the chaos, created the TVA, and presided over all of time from its very endpoint. He manipulated events across eternity, effectively becoming the puppet master of the MCU. Omniscient, timeless, and untouchable, until Sylvie changed everything. Infinity Ultron represents what happens when a machine wins. After defeating the Avengers in his reality, Ultron took the Infinity Stones from Thanos, sliced through entire universes like paper, and nearly ended the multiverse. He stumbled upon the Watcher's realm, something no one had done before, and aimed to dismantle all of existence. He was an existential threat, stopped only by a rare alliance of heroes from across time and space. The embodiment of time itself, eternity, came into being alongside his siblings Infinity, Death, and Entropy. Together, They represent the essential forces that govern all existence. Eternity isn't just a personification. He is the timeline. Life, time, space, all fall under his dominion. With infinity, he expands existence. With entropy, he resets it. A constant cycle guided by unfathomable cosmic intelligence. And now, the final and most unlikely name, Loki. Who would have thought that the god of mischief would rise to become the most powerful being in the multiverse? Yet here he stands, no longer a trickster, but a timeless guardian. Loki sacrificed everything to dismantle the temporal loom, binding all branches of time into a new reality forged by his own will. He now sits on a throne at the edge of time itself, sustaining the multiverse like a living god. His power isn't measurable anymore. It is power. So now you've seen the most powerful beings the MCU has ever unleashed. But do you agree with this ranking? Who do you think deserves the top spot? And who is just overhyped? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We're watching. And don't forget to subscribe if you love power rankings, lore deep dives, and MCU chaos unraveled like never before.